Like, oh my God, he has removable teeth. Woo!
We gotta play with these now.
They're clacking the dentures.
Woohoo! We're back.
Thank you all for joining. We're here. Woo!
Did you miss us? I missed us.
I missed us.
I missed us. I think.
I hope you got your drink ready.
Yeah. Who's got their White Claw or their beer? Or
I have
their
a Coors Light
wine?
seltzer.
I feel like wine is not the necessary drink for a happy hour, but hey, if it gets you there, great.
Yeah, to each their own.
Yeah. I feel like happy hour, I think of like cocktails.
Yeah, or like beer.
I think next time we do this, I'm gonna have to like make an actual cocktail. Like I want to sit here. I want like a baristas. No, they only do coffee. I want like a bartender like handing me a drink with like the pretty shit in there. I just want a pretty drink. We'll have to come up with something next time.
To get like a martini glass. Be really
like
fancy.
Martinis.
I don't either, but you can put other things in them.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'd like, see, I used to hate vodka. And now it's the only thing I drink anymore. So I don't know. Maybe I'd like martinis or vodka, right? Okay, yeah. Maybe I would like it. Okay. Tequila's the one I can't handle.
Yeah. I like a good martini. I not like a regular martini where it's just like vodka and olives.
I have
I like a vodka gimlet, which is technically
I
a
don't
martini.
know what that is.
It's vodka, simple syrup, and lime juice.
Ooh. I could handle that.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Without the salt. It's essentially what we drink, but just no seltzer water.
Yeah. We'll have to make something fancy next time. We'll go to the liquor store first and just like whip up our creation. Love that. I have another Mandela effect for us.
Hit me.
I keep saying I combine fact and effect every time, and it never comes out right. It's Mandela effect fact. I just mix my words together and it sounds stupid.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I have not noticed it.
Okay, there we go.
Episode 4.
I just called myself out.
Haven't noticed a single time.
There we go. I like that. Well, this one is very common. I will say it's very popular. I've always... Okay, let me like read it first. So, the Looney Tunes logo.
Okay. The circle?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And how do you spell it? Looney Tunes.
Oh. L.
Well, you don't have to spell loony part. Spell tunes.
Tunes. Isn't it TOONES?
That's what I always thought.
It's okay.
It's not. It's
I hate
literally
these.
spelled TUNES. Like actual tunes. I
thought it was loony.
I swear on my everything. Like I thought it was TOONS.
Me too, because I thought it followed like loony, like LO.
Like, yeah. Apparently I was wrong.
Oh, I hate these.
No. I've never watched. I used to watch this all the time
Me
when I was a
too.
kid too.
That's a lie.
I know.
It's a bunch of liars.
I think people are trying to play with us.
I think so too.
I don't
They're
believe
going on
them.
the internet and they're changing it before we look it up.
Right? Yeah, just here, we'll quickly put the new logo on. Nobody will notice.
No one will know.
And then we'll just tell them they were wrong the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to go first? Should we rock, paper, scissors this shit?
Yeah, we'll rock, paper, scissors.
All right, ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I started with paper.
Fuck.
The last time I won with paper, so I started with paper. I still won.
I hate this. I hate Looney Tunes.
So I'll go first
Yeah,
this
you go
time.
first. I went first last time.
Yeah,
so
you did.
It's fine.
Well, you inspired me last time because you switched it up. You didn't do conspiracy. So this time I'm going to do an unknown story.
Ooh, okay.
I
I'm ready.
know, right?
Ready to get spooked.
So, surprisingly, this has not been heard by too many people, but it is one of the most convincing alien abduction cases.
Ooh.
It's called it's the story of Betty and Barney Hill. Have you heard of this?
No, I don't really know too many. I don't really follow a lot of alien stuff.
So
I'm ready.
I wanted to bring this one up because I used to live in a town up in New Hampshire, and I used to work in this town, and this abduction happened probably about a 15-minute drive from where I used to work. So on this road, there is literally a plaque that states like the Betty and Barney Hill abduction. The gas station that's now right there has like a mural of an alien and like a UFO on the wall. So while it's not like a huge deal, they do like have a little bit of.
And you didn't take us there when we were in New Hampshire?
Did I not pass that?
No. I don't remember you saying that this is an alien abduction site.
Oh, well, you're about to know the full story.
Okay.
It's really good. So it's really good. So I'm going to be reading a passage from history.com, I think it is. So Sources I used was Gaia, Gaia,
Sure.
Gaia, I don't know, .com. And history.com. So, it's definitely accurate. This case is one of the most convincing alien abduction cases known. So on September 19th, 1961, Betty and Barney Hill, along with their dog, were returning from a vacation in Niagara Falls back to their home in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. They were traveling on Highway 3, which is just south of Lancaster, and they started to notice a bright light in the sky. Betty, who was in the passenger seat at the time, she started noticing the light getting lower and lower. At first, Barney her husband thought it was just a plane. No big deal. We'll keep going. However,
And it's very clear up there because it's like the mountains.
It's all woods, so it's dark. So you see one bright light
You're blind.
in the sky,
You're blind,
and it's obviously it's not like a street corner light or a store. There's literally nothing around, especially in 1961. I mean, it was
electricity back then.
Woods. There's electricity. Are you?
Just kidding.
There might have been TVs at the time.
I don't know. Your parents lived in a log cabin.
Yeah, but I mean, they
I'm
had
just kidding.
Cable. And
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But it was about 30 minutes from where they lived. So,
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, if there even one light in the sky would probably be so bright because it's so dark.
Yeah, exactly. You can see stars so much better than you can in a city area. But they were curious what this light was because they said they noticed it's starting to follow them in a way.
Okay.
It looked like one of those things where you can see it from every angle, but it was kind of going in and out of the trees and stuff. So they stopped their car to get a closer look to let their dog out. Still curious about what this light was, he stopped the car several more times on the way home to get a closer. At one point, he had pulled out his binoculars to see this white light. But when he looked closer, what he thought was an aircraft was as large as a jet, but round and flat as a pancake and was in a spinning motion, rotating motion.
So it looked like a standard UFO or what we imagine
what you would imagine in your head is what they saw.
Okay.
Correct. Yep. So he said he recalled thinking, quote, "My God, what is this thing?" And quote, "This can't be real." He noticed he could see several occupants inside. Without explanation, they started to hear loud rhythmic beeps and buzzing sounds that could be heard from the car's trunk. The couple felt instantly drowsy, tingling sensations, and then lost consciousness.
Oh. Wait, the rumbling was coming from their trunk?
Of their car.
That's weird.
I think it was probably the car vibrating.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is that where the dog was?
Just rolling around in the trunk. So the couple ended up coming to around 2 hours later and 35 miles down the road from where they started. Weirdest part of that trip was that when they got home and woke up, they noticed that Betty's dress was ripped in several places. There was an unknown pinkish powder on it. The toes of Barney's dress shoes were scuffed so badly he could not wear them anymore. And the binocular strap had been broken and almost looked like it was cut. Not like a snap, but like a cut.
Wait, they had binoculars?
Yeah, Barney, remember that's how he saw the figurines inside of it.
Part.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, he had binoculars. No longer though. I mean, the strap was cut.
It's I hate these.
Also, too, at the time, Betty and Barney were both wearing watches. At the time of their unusual encounter, both watches quit working at the same time.
Ooh,
they were
spooky.
both ended up on the same time, stopped working, and they never worked again. They couldn't get the watches working anymore. Also, too, they found shiny concentric circles that appeared on the trunk of the car that seemed to have some sort of magnetic connection. They noticed that when they held a compass near these marks on their car, it kind of made the compass freak out a little bit, wiggle and right. The Betty and Barney Hill abduction story was the first of its kind told. Although the incident happened more than 50 years ago, it is still being discussed and analyzed today. So, let's start with the Air Force investigation.
Ooh.
Yes, we went hard. So September 21st, Betty was able to convince Barney that they should report their experience to the Air Force. Barney was worried by reporting the situation they would be viewed as eccentric. I mean, a while ago, people might just have thought you were crazy.
Yeah,
for this type of story.
Locked you away somewhere.
Yep. So Major Paul Henderson visited them in person and wrote a report of the interview dated September 26th, 1961. Now, it's unclear whether or not he viewed the Hills as credible. However, a National Investigation Committee on Aerial Phenomenon, otherwise known as NICAP, reported concluding that they were both telling the truth. I want to point out one other thing, too, that I forgot to mention. So that pinkish powder that was found on Betty's dress, 5 different labs examined this powder, and nobody could identify what this pinkish substance was.
It wasn't like a known compound
Obviously
on Earth.
not. Nobody could figure out what this was. They didn't even really know what it was like made or consisted of.
Ooh,
So freaky.
that is scary.
Now, because of all of this trauma they were suffering, coming years, they had the disturbing dreams. Barney ended up developing anxiety and an ulcer. So they decided to sought mental health. Now, I guess for them, a good idea was hypnosis. So,
What?
yeah, in the beginning of 1964.
To make him forget, maybe? Or to bring it up the memories?
Yep.
Okay.
So in 1964, the couple spent a 6-month period undergoing hypnosis sessions with Dr. Benjamin Simon. He is a psychiatrist and neurologist who specialized in hypnosis. At the end of each session, he would induce amnesia, so they would not remember what was brought up during these hypnosis sessions, so they couldn't collaborate stories and discuss what they remembered, and they wanted to try to keep it as authentic as possible. Now, while under, Barney recalled that at one point he got out of his car and began opening fire on the aircraft, because at the time you were allowed to carry a loaded gun in your car, I guess. He was in the military, so he had kept his military-issued weapon with him.
Okay.
So he remembers firing at the aircraft at one point. Soon, he became overwhelmed by the aliens. They took him and his wife onto the spacecraft, where he recalled a red-headed Irishman greeting him along with a number of people who did not appear human. He thought they were all speaking German. He said that they wore peaked caps and a uniform with silver piping, an appearance that reminded him of the SS Panzer Nazi uniforms worn in World War II. He also recalled the German shepherd had stayed near the red-headed Irishman. Barney said that the Irishman spoke English, but also communicated silently in a way that Barney could understand the message. So, like, telepathically, like, mind signals, I guess.
Was he Irish?
I guess the accent he had? I don't know. I feel like if it was an alien, they wouldn't even speak English at all, or Irish or whatever. But Betty gave the same report about the communication, I guess the telepathically. Both Barney and Betty had reported that the extraterrestrials conducted medical experiments on them, took blood and hair samples, and scraped skin for sampling. Now, I have a passage right here that I pulled off of history.com, and I want to read it because it's very interesting. If this is what accounts they're both remembering, it's creepy.
Okay.
So, through the months of weekly sessions, Simon helped the couple piece together what they think happened. A vessel had landed on the Hill's car, putting them to sleep. Afterwards, gray beings walked them up a long ramp into the spacecraft. Once inside, the Hills were separated, taking turns in examination rooms that had curved walls and a very large light hanging from the ceiling. Each was asked to climb up onto a metal table. The table was so short, Barney's legs hung over the side. During the examination, the beings removed Betty and Barney's clothes, plucked strands of their hair, took clippings of their nails, and scraped their skin. Each sample was placed on a clear material, not unlike a glass slide. Needles connected to long wires probed their heads, arms, legs, and spines. One large needle, around 4 to 6 inches long, was inserted into Betty's belly. This pregnancy test left her twisting with pain. Throughout, a being Barney and Betty called the leader watched from the sides. After Betty's examination ended, the beings rushed back into her room excited. They discovered that Barney's teeth could be removed. Betty laughed, explaining that Barney had dentures, a fact of human aging the beings struggled to understand.
Oh, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, he has removable teeth. Woo!
You can just, we gotta play with these now.
Yeah. They're clacking the dentures.
Yeah.
That's actually kind of funny. The rest of it was making me squirm a little because of the needles, but like then they're like, oh my God, his teeth
It kind
come
of
out.
makes it more like realistic, like human, like what children would do.
Yeah.
Later, alone with the leader, Betty asked where the aircraft had flown, admitting she knew very little of the universe. The being joked with her, saying, "If you don't know where you are, wouldn't be any point of telling you where I am. Later, under hypnosis, she drew a star map shown to her on the ship. And that was the end of the history.com passage that I want to read. So, despite the separate hypnosis sessions, Betty and Barney reported very similar instances. Most memories matched what Betty was dreaming about at night. She began to also write down her dreams to help document this for her therapist. Experts analyzed the star drawings that she was drawing while under hypnosis and determined that she drew Zeta Reticuli, I think it's what it calls, which is a pair of stars 220 trillion miles away from Earth.
And that's like where she was in the universe?
Yeah, so when she was under hypnosis, she drew a star map that this leader showed her.
Uh-huh.
And while she was under hypnosis, she redrew this.
Wow, that's crazy.
And these stars are 220 trillion miles away, which is insane to me.
It's almost as far as New Hampshire.
Not even close. After the hypnosis sessions, Dr. Simon allowed the investigator to listen to all 7 hours of the recorded sessions. The investigator said did not change his mind. In fact, listening to the recorded sessions helped fill in some of the gaps in their memories. The reports of the encounter and the hypnosis remained a secret until somehow confidentiality was broken. On October 25th, 1964, the Boston Globe published a report of the Hills alien encounter and abduction, including notes of their hypnosis sessions. The story was published in a 5-day series and picked up by the United Press International. Now, the Hills, along with their psychiatrists, eventually cooperated with an author, John G. Fuller, who published a book in 1966 about the abduction titled The Interrupted Journey. A second book was titled Captured, the Betty and Barney Hill UFO Experience. And this was written by Betty's niece, Kathleen Mandrin, who studied all of the records as well as the hypnosis session notes. And both books can still be purchased today, which I might have to buy one because I want to know more about this. I want to know like the facts of what happened while they were under hypnosis.
Yeah, I would be so curious to hear with the recording, not to hear the recordings, but read the notes from them.
I don't know which one I would prefer to read. I think I would prefer to read them both because the one was a family member. So she's not only telling their story from their experience, but she's telling her experience knowing this family already. The other one was from an author, but he also spoke to the psychiatrist, the hypnosis, like all of them.
Yeah, that one kind of sounds a little more interesting.
Yeah, and it was written like, I think 4 years, 1966? On October?
So kind of fresh.
1966, so it happened 4 years after the abduction, so I'd be very curious.
That's so cool.
Isn't it weird?
Yeah.
And like I found out about this, ironically, when I was living up in New Hampshire. I was watching a YouTube video and they were discussing this and I was like, wait a minute. Like I know exactly where that town is. Like I've been there before. And then they're like, oh, it was on Route 3. And I was like, I know where that is. Like I rode down that road and I'm like, oh my God, there's a sign.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting.
That is cool.
Yeah, I like that one. So that's my story. Hope you like it.
I did. That one's really cool actually.
I know, right? It's so like
kind of cool that it's like almost like a hometown story for you.
I know, yeah. I just think it's cool because like I'm that person. I do believe that there's definitely more in the universe than just life on Earth. And it's kind of like the proof. And they had to like, it wasn't just something that these people remembered. They had to dig into their brain through hypnosis, which you're under hypnosis. You really can't make shit up. Like it's just what is buried in your brain. So I don't know. I believe it.
I did too. That's pretty cool.
I know. I love it.
That was a good one. That was a good story.
So what do you got? What do you got for me today?
Let me bring it back up on
my
little tablet here. So I kind of wish that, because we keep these secret from each other.
Yes.
So we're surprised. I kind of wish I knew about your last week.
This week,
previous recording.
It would have been a good episode to do together.
It would have been a good episode to do together because it also involves another retail establishment.
Ooh, okay.
So this is a conspiracy theory. And this is the conspiracy theory of the Wayfair human trafficking scandal.
I have heard you mention it before, but I don't think I know this one.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it before. I feel like we talked about it on the way to the Ren Fair, but...
Probably.
So my sources for today are a BuzzFeed News article and an Insider.com article.
Okay.
So I'll just get right into it.
Let's.
It's a lot.
Good.
And it's just like one of those things that you can't believe. Like
It's a sex trafficking, you said?
Human
trafficking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Wayfair conspiracy theory is a claim that the company is trafficking children through its website. And it's just saying that it was like a story that was going around the internet and somehow gained traction around through Instagram. But so the conspiracy theory itself is about Wayfair has been floating around various social medias, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, sharing different information, like people going back and forth. But the version that went viral is the one I'm going to tell you about.
So there are multiple versions, but okay.
There's multiple versions, but the one I'm going to go over is the one that like made the head. This version appears to have originated from one of our favorite subreddits, the r/conspiracy theory
Yes.
subreddit. But the original poster speculated that Wayfair had been trafficking children through storage cabinets after noticing several of the products were extremely overpriced, and the cabinets in question cost around $13,000.
Oh my God.
Conspiracy theorists connected that some of the products' names were similar to children who appeared on missing reports, like online.
Wait, so the name of the product description would have like a child's name in it?
Yeah, just like IKEA's named like Ben or something.
Little Alex.
So I made a little side comment. It's funny because where we work, we have to purchase some of these cabinets, and like me, like I do, and they are expensive. Like
yes.
Like to the average person, they're probably like, why is this cabinet so expensive? But this cabinet is so expensive for a particular reason.
I have never seen anything on Wayfair that costs what it should. It's always so overpriced.
Exactly. Wayfair is always overpriced. But if you were to buy some of these, like these cabinets that are involved in this conspiracy are industrial, like electrical cabinets. So it's like stuff that we buy for work to go out on site. Like there's going to have a switch and a server and all this stuff in it.
Oh.
So like they're expensive.
Yeah.
But and like I was just saying, the price tag and the fact that Wayfair, like many other companies, assign human names to the items
that's just creepy.
it sells, but there is no concrete evidence. Of course, there's no concrete evidence that the company is involved in sex trafficking. But and of course, Wayfair has denied these allegations.
I mean, as they should, unless they want to get caught.
And one of the so-called missing children being flagged by the conspiracy theorists also responded online saying that, like, I'm not missing.
That's weird.
Yeah. So the Wayfair conspiracy plays into a bigger conspiracy perpetuated by QAnon, which claims that the world is controlled by a secret cabal of pedophiles that President Donald Trump is actively fighting against. Well, former President Donald Trump. QAnon supporters and conspiracy theorists have taken the Wayfair claims and connected them. Like, they're trying to, like, mash together a few different conspiracies to make it make sense. They're like, oh, the world, what did I just say? The world is controlled by this secret cabal of pedophiles. So the reason that these cabinets have human names must mean they're connected.
So what is this? The QAnon, is that an organization or?
Yeah, QAnon they're like a bunch of crazy conspiracy theorists online.
So like the people probably in charge of the Reddit posts that we read.
So yeah, the QAnon supporters and conspiracy theorists have taken the Wayfair claims and connected them. Several other photos of proof, in quotes, have emerged, and countless people online have come up with other products such as expensive pillows, deeming them suspicious.
So is the theory that they are posting pictures of the furniture, but instead you're going to get
a child? Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if it was like you're getting a child that's been shoved inside a cabinet and they're shipping it.
Well, maybe. Maybe. They got to pack the child somehow, right? The company has denied any involvement in human trafficking, saying there is, of course, no truth to these claims. The products in question are industrial grade cabinets that are accurately priced. A Wayfair spokesperson.
No, I have to disagree with the accurately priced.
A Wayfair spokesperson told BuzzFeed News this, and this is a continuation of the quote. Recognizing that the photos and descriptions provided by the supplier did not adequately explain the high price point, We temporarily removed the products from the site to rename them and provide a more in-depth description and photos that accurately depict the product to clarify the price point. So they were just selling it for really expensive prices. And they're like,
We have a reason.
we have to put our reason in there now. This conspiracy theory has also been debunked by, a whole bunch of media outlets. Subsequent elaborations on the theory included a user review on the Wayfair website for a previously unrelated $5,000 fireproof filing cabinet, which included a 2016 user review from someone in Walnut Creek, California. San Francisco exurb with a population of more than 70,000 was also the location of a February arrest for human trafficking, child pornography, attempted kidnapping.
Good Lord.
And then which was allegedly connected to a wider child sex trafficking ring. So there's a bunch of future theories that will probably make a reappearance in future episodes off of
this theory itself.
Off of this theory itself, because I was like going through this.
Now you have to figure out like.
Yeah, because reading this, there's apparently another conspiracy theory, which I didn't look into yet, but I added it to my list so you can't take it.
Okay.
It's called Pizzagate, and it involves pizza restaurants.
Ooh, okay. I won't take it. I won't even look it up, but I'm curious now.
So, and that was one of the tie-ins to this theory.
I bet you could find a conspiracy revolving around like any type of corporate country.
Sure. So, back to the part where I said that the girl, one of the people who was supposedly missing
names,
posted on social media saying like, I'm not missing, I'm home. So her name, and I'm probably going to bitch it. I'm probably going to butcher it, but her name is Samia Moonen.
Okay.
And she is a teenager who conspiracy theorists claimed was a missing child, possibly caught up in the ring. She posted an angry Facebook Live video to chastise those spreading her name in connection with the bogus information. So she was 13 in July of 2020 when her name and face went viral online as a victim of human trafficking by Wayfair.
If I was the mother, I'd be upset.
So, and the Wayfair Conspiracy Theory, which went viral on several social media platforms in July of 2020.
So this is a relatively new conspiracy.
Yeah. I remember this. I remember us being in the car driving and we were reading about it.
I don't remember it at all.
The conspiracy theory when July 2020 alleged that the furniture company was selling children using expensive furniture listings with names of missing Americans. And it was saying this child, she did run away, or she ran away from home earlier in the year, but her parents found her after 2 days. A Twitter user identified a pillow using her name with the title of her last name, and it was selling for $9,999
a pillow
on the Wayfair website, and found a local news article stating that she had gone missing, but the article was not updated saying that she was found. So that kind of perpetuated it because they're like, oh, her name is here and it's on this really expensive pillow and it's saying that she's missing still, even though she really wasn't anymore. They just never updated it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I've never purchased off of Wayfair.
Neither have I.
Is Wayfair like Amazon in the sense that you can have third-party sellers selling things on Wayfair's website, or is it Wayfair is a company that sells their own products? Because I thought you could post stuff for them.
I don't know. I didn't look into it that much, but I know they sell a lot of different brands. I think it's like Amazon for furniture.
Okay.
Like you can get like rugs, tables, lamps, like blah, blah, blah.
Because I was like, if Wayfair doesn't manage everything that gets sold, if like third parties can sell on it, then there is always the possibility of this being true.
I'm gonna sell a $10,000 pillow on Wayfair. See if someone buys it.
I mean, like, even still, I think $10,000 is a little cheap for a child.
Yeah.
Like, if you were gonna sell like why not just mark it all the way up?
Exactly. So in the summer of 2020, her father started getting calls about his child's face being spread online, and he told her not to leave the house, blah, blah, blah. And she, had trauma from this. She was scared. She told the Post that she was scared to go to sleep at night.
I mean, I understand that. I would be too.
Yeah. This did not, her outreach and then her father's assistance, but this did not stop the theory from being circulated by lifestyle influencers throughout.
I think once a theory is established, people just are so intrigued by it, regardless if it's debunked or not, that they'll find a way to make it still sound true.
Mm-hmm. So I got I pulled some excerpts from the article that went over some of the ways that it was being spread through social media. So one influencer, she ran a blog about fashion and home decor called Love Beck, and had like 110,000 followers. She had 9 separate highlights on her page sharing a range of QAnon conspiracy theories. So she's supposed to be this fashion and home decor blogger, but she's spreading all these conspiracy theories. She and other vocal QAnon supporters posted about the Wayfair conspiracy theory, and many others on her Instagram began to share it as well. There's another post from this other person, this time a beauty influencer with 42,000 followers, and she has her own line of eyebrow products. But she also sharing widely since the conspiracy theory began. She said in an Instagram live video with her husband that while in quarantine, she had begun reading more about human sex trafficking. When she read the Wayfair theory, she said she immediately believed it and thought it was more of a pandemic than anything else. And she was in this was 2020, so the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
The actual pandemic. And she thought that it was more of her husband did too. And so he said he decided to buy one of the desks in question for more than $17,000.
Oh my God.
She posted the transaction on Instagram where it had been liked more than 10,000 times. Her husband also posted a video of himself calling Wayfair customer service and attempting to buy a cabinet. When the representative apparently began to understand that he was actually calling about the conspiracy theory, the husband, just kept kind of like berating the person, saying like, shame on you, blah, 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 selling children.
See, I think that's a little messed up. If you don't know, then why are you going to say that to somebody?
Yeah, exactly.
It's accusing them of something they didn't even do.
Another lifestyle influencer began sharing the theory as well. This person had 322,000 followers on Instagram, and they told BuzzFeed News that something very obviously illegal and potentially dangerous is going on here. I think it's shameful that the media won't touch this story. And I think it's shameful that anyone who does is branded as right-wing conspiracy theorist and gaslit for questioning its very questionable situation, she said. This is not about politics, and I am shocked that so many people are staying quiet about children. At the end of the day, we need to start demanding sufficient explanations for these types of glitches and mistakes, quotes, in quotes. The very dismissive and surface-level statement Wayfair gave regarding all of this is absolutely insufficient, which is kind of true. It was a very blanket statement, but I just don't believe they're trafficking children.
I don't either. I would love to be able to actually talk to somebody like this influencer or whatever, who does believe it, because I just want to know what facts that they're basing this off of that like they're not sharing, because there has to be more than just 2 facts of naming a furniture after missing people and them costing exorbitant amounts of money that they're basing this opinion off of. So I'd like to speak to somebody like that who can actually explain their thought process to me.
Yeah, I know. And some of these people are just, I don't know if they were bored during the pandemic.
I mean, it sounds like it's just a bunch of influencers who are talking. It doesn't sound like it's the theory that many people believe.
Exactly, because then there's just more influencers that are sharing it. Other influencers mentioned the theory but didn't say they subscribed to it. This other influencer posted a poll asking her audience of 1 million followers what they thought of this Wayfair stuff, and 65% said they believed it.
Yeah, but also I'm sure that the audience of millions of people is like a lot of impressionable children or teenagers who want to fit in. I don't believe it. I'm sorry.
I don't either. Other influencers posted that while they were unsure whether the Wayfair theories had merit, the theory is shedding light on human trafficking. And that's true.
I mean, that's good. Yeah, that is true.
Some supporters of the Wayfair conspiracy theory posted on Instagram that they were upset many influencers had posted consistently about Black Lives Matter and anti-racism, but not about child sex trafficking. I was like that. People are just grasping at straws.
Yeah, I feel like influencers post what they can to gain their self-views. Like this conspiracy thing right here, I think
Of
it's
course, yeah.
just for the views and not because they actually believe it.
So according to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, more than 23,500 children who were classified as endangered runaways in 2019, and it is likely that as many as 1 in 6 became victims of sex trafficking. So it is a really big issue.
Yeah, sex trafficking in itself, I definitely would say.
Yeah, I just thought I'd add a little call to action. Any child can be a victim.
Yeah.
But the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children states that traffickers often target children with increased vulnerabilities. These include children who run away frequently, have a substance abuse issue, or have a parent who does, have experienced sexual abuse, or identify as LGBTQ in an unsupported family. Children in the foster care system are particularly vulnerable, according to the same center and the Department of Justice.
See, I definitely agree with that statement because it's easier to prey on the weak than it is onto children in loving homes. But it's just a sad fact regardless.
Oh, yeah, it's terrible. Many recovered American victims are street children, a population of runaway or throwaway youth who often come from low-income families and may suffer from physical abuse, sexual abuse, and family abandonment issues, the Department of Justice says on its website. The population is seen as an easy target by pimps because the children are generally vulnerable, without dependable guardians, and suffer from low self-esteem. While child sex trafficking, especially of at-risk use, is a real problem in the U.S., there is no credible evidence that Wayfair has any involvement in such an operation. And then this is when, prompts like Pizzagate before it, pending future episode. This conspiracy theory has only served to spread misinformation through the internet and increasingly on platforms like Instagram. So the next time you see this on someone's Instagram story, know how it connects to the larger QAnon conspiracy ecosystem and think before you swipe up. And that is my story about the Wayfair human trafficking conspiracy.
See, that's interesting to me. First of all, if I was just a regular consumer, there's no way I would buy a piece of furniture that costs like $17,000.
No, I'm poor.
So I think that in itself is a deterrent. Now, unless this is like a real conspiracy, like this is a true story, and people like on the black market know about special postings like this, I don't see many people purchasing $17,000 piece or pillow or whatever you said it was. And if you do, I think that in itself is a red flag of something you should investigate and not just let go. But it's just like I said, let's just say it for a second that it is true. It's incredibly sad that there are those people in the world who will not only purchase a human, but purchase a child knowing it could be like a stolen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a difference between I said purchasing a child, but I mean, adoption is pretty much the same thing, but it's a child
legal.
That needs help. Yeah. It's not just like, oh, we're going to take you from this home and put you in this home to make a profit.
Yeah. Are you going to get you're going to get a cabinet delivered one day and it's going to have a small child inside of it.
Pop goes the weasel type of.
Yeah.
I'm like making a joke of it. It's not,
No,
I mean, it's not a funny thing.
It is sad. Do I believe in the Wayfair human trafficking conspiracy?
No. Not really.
Do I think they had overpriced cabinets on their website and they got called out for it? Yes.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah.
100%.
I don't know. I think that in itself should be illegal. Like overpricing furniture by that much.
Yeah.
Like it's just a scam. And most of the time though, no offense to, I'm really going to like never get us a sponsor, but like most of the time those like cabinets or whatever, they just fall apart.
Yeah. And I remember looking at them. We'll post some pictures of them because I did save the cabinets in question.
Yeah.
And they just look like I don't even know if they look industrial grade. They look like the cabinets
like the
that
basic ones that you put together off of Amazon.
Yeah, and then like that you would put in your backyard and put like your hose in.
Oh, like plastic?
but metal. But the the
Oh,
plastic
ew,
but
though.
metal.
I don't know. I just think it's
You
a
put your
bunch of
gardening
bull.
supplies.
It's crazy.
It is.
I just think it's crazy that somebody would actually be willing to pay that much money in the first place. But,
Mm-hmm.
it's me.
Me too. I wouldn't buy it.
No, absolutely not.
So that was good. 2 more great stories.
Yay.
The alien one was great. That was my
It's one of my favorite stories in general, yeah. But I'm going to have to figure out what I think I have my next 3 stories situated in my mind. So,
Yeah, I have a couple. I haven't started doing the investigative work on them yet, but I have them my like list of ones I'm going to go through.
and I think we're going to plan on having a special guest in the next few episodes at least.
Every episode or so, we plan on having a special guest where they hopefully bring us a story and we bring them a drink.
Alcohol.
Yep.
It's a great trade.
Yep.
We don't have to do the research.
We don't
but
have we can just be the ones that are like, ooh,
We can be the
ooh,
host, yeah.
And they bring the story. So look out for that in a future episode.
Yes. And I mean, who knows if you're in this area and you want to be a special guest or if you want to do it from afar, we're open.
We're open.
Not opposed.
Send us an email.
Let's work for us.
conspiracyhappyhour@gmail.com.
Yes. Or I mean, hell, I'll read your story. If you want to write it, I'll read it. That's okay.
We'll read it.
Yes. Make sure you hit us up on our Instagram at Conspiracy Happy Hour. Well, we think I'm done.
I think that's it.
All right, let's go.
We'll talk to you all next time.
Let's get the bathroom.
Yeah, I got a pig. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to Conspiracy Happy Hour. Be sure to listen, follow, and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Have a spooky story, conspiracy, or weird encounter that you would like to hear read in a future episode? Email your story to conspiracyhappyhour@gmail.com and follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at Conspiracy Happy Hour. This podcast is produced and edited by Geckos Media and is part of the Geckos Media Network. Interested in starting your own podcast and not quite sure where to begin? Visit Geckos Media and sign up for a free one-on-one consultation today. Until next time, bye!